Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of our F125 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day today. Big day for Formula 1, big day for our team, my teammate, other drivers as well. It's the home Grand Prix for a majority of the sport here from the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. We're coming off of our first double points day for Connor Sport last episode in Austria, as well as Lando Norris continues to make gains on Max Verstappen coming into this weekend. Some more rumors have been, of course, coming up in recent times. Last episode, it was about Kimi Antonelli potentially being on the way out, as Mercedes is looking for someone that can kind of keep up with George Russell, and of course it's only Antonelli's rookie season. But here this weekend, there was some new rumors, not about Antonelli, but this time Yuki Tsunoda, who has scored a podium this season but has been way off the pace for the most part of Max Verstappen. And it's a typical Red Bull situation where they are continuing to try and find somebody that can match what Verstappen can produce, and they're really struggling to make that happen. So there is some rumor mill kind of stuff going around that Yuki Tsunoda is as well another candidate looking at being potentially replaced going in towards next season, but I personally don't think he's done that bad of a job. You look at that second Red Bull car, of course, Red Bull very designed to just work for Max Verstappen, so the second driver always has a more difficult time. So it's certainly interesting to see how Red Bull is trying to operate here, even with now bringing in Yuki Tsunoda for this 2025 season. As for myself here, home race for the team here from Silverstone, and I can confidently say this was the most comfortable I had felt in the car all season. Just setup wise, as I say that, I'm slipping and sliding around a little bit, but outside of that, I was really happy with the car. Now, what I wasn't really happy with was it was going to be pouring rain in qualifying. It's going to be a dry Grand Prix, which is great, but qualifying, it's going to be pouring rain. Now, this is recorded after the most recent update in the game, where I was told that they had actually tried to update the AI from being completely OP in the rain. Maybe I just suck, but it certainly didn't seem like the AI were any less overpowered, and you're going to see that here as we get ready to head on to the racetrack and qualify. So definitely was a bit concerned because we're on the wet tires, so it's not going to be easy, to say the least. And you can see me slipping and sliding around, and what I'd like to do in this scenario is I'd like to run several laps and just try to find time, as I always get quicker in the rain as the laps go on. My first lap, it was horrible. I was 22nd. I run a second lap, and we had found 2 seconds before we had even gotten to the end of Sector 2. But the question is, although I've made a huge gain, is that going to be enough of a gain? Because I was way off everybody in front of me originally. We come out of the final turn, find 3 seconds, we go to P21, and I would save some battery and run one more lap. And we now have pretty well everybody back out on the racetrack except for the guys that are right towards the top. My teammate Aiden Jackson, he's currently in P18, needing some improvement as well. I mean, we both had pretty poor qualifying efforts in Austria, but rebounded to both score some points at the end of the day. So we know that even if we don't have a great qualifying effort, we know the race pace is there now. But I continue to find some time. Now, 0.6 of a second gain. I was pretty happy with what I was seeing, but obviously not knowing if the other drivers were going to improve on their times, and unfortunately for me, they were all improving their lap times. So now I'm back down to P22, and I go wide out of Cobb, so that completely ruins that corner, and we find 1 second about of gain. But the question is that going to be enough? And we're gonna find out as we come through the final turn, giving them about another 10th. And it's P22. I had nothing left. What an embarrassment. I mean, the AI are so strong in the rain every year, and it just feels like it gets worse every year. Aiden Jackson improves to P13, and look how far off I am. I mean, we're 0.8 of a second off of 21st Jack Do. Unfortunately, the Grand Prix is dry. Let's head to a sunny Silverstone Grand Prix Sunday afternoon.
You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sports, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda, and Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Albon, and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Antonelli, Liam Lawson, and Bortoletto, Hadjar, Fernando Alonso, Ollie Behrman, and Lance Stroll, Hulkenberg, Doohan, Golden Boy, and Aiden Jackson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right then, so it's going to be starting on the softs today, going onto the hards, a one-stop strategy, just like Austria, just different tire compound to start. Let's get ready to roll.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
It's pretty well a 50-50 split, some on mediums, some on softs. Front row Verstappen and Norris both on the mediums.
We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Good luck, everybody. Home race for you guys. I'm going to make the most of it for you all, and good luck to Aiden as well. I know it's a big race for him.
Let's have a good one, mate. Looking forward to this race.
You hear the radio there between myself, my, of course, crew, specifically Mark, our race engineer now, as we get ready to hit the grid with this Connor Sport team. Unfortunately, you see who's joining me back here. My teammate, of course, Aiden Jackson, who does take a grid penalty with some parts changes for this weekend. So we do move up to P21 as we are ready to go racing. The British Grand Prix is officially underway. Home race for Formula One and many drivers and teams on the grid now. And I kind of close the door on Jackson right there. We're going to get aggressive immediately into turn 1. And from P21 immediately to P17. A hole here to dive up the inside of Fernando Alonso, who was trying to go up the inside of Hadjar. We're 3 wide into the right-hander now. What a start there. We got the elbows out and went after it immediately, and we're going to go around the outside. Alonso's going to get squeezed out by the 2 rookies now, and we get around Hadjar into P15. 6 positions gained immediately in this British Grand Prix, as you as well see. Verstappen, he's gotten the lead, by the way, over Lando Norris. You saw right there, Piastri on the back of Tsunoda. And everybody else battling it out here, the 2 Williams of Albon and Sainz right there together. But for us, it's been a blinding start here from this Silverstone British Grand Prix. And we're now on the back of fellow rookie of Ollie Behrman, who's now trying to pressure as well the V-carb of Liam Lawson. Pierre Gasly just up ahead. Both myself and Lawson went wide on the exit of Comps right there, but a dirty air kind of pushing us wide as Max Verstappen tries to now end a bit of the bleeding of McLaren's Lando Norris, running him down and passing him over these last 3 races and getting wins and just outscoring him on points. He, of course, wants to get back to the top step of the podium today, but this is a long race. 26 laps here in Silverstone. A lot can and probably will happen before this race comes to a conclusion. Look at the run we got right there, but unfortunately didn't really equate to much. It's actually lost time overall over the course of the second lap to Ollie Behrman, and once again the straight line speed is really where we're lacking. It's so hard to just be fast compared to the AI in a straight line unless you take just about all the downforce out of your car. At that point you can compete in a straight line, but you're really going to start to struggle in, well, all the corners, of course. So Ollie Behrman, though, he's kind of behind this little group of cars, and they can't really get away from each other. You look on the track map, and it looks like we've got Williams kind of backing up the field, and that is allowing me to stay comfortably within contact here of these cars in front. So now here comes Fernando Alonso, however, starting to pressure me, the 2-time champion. Of course, with Adrian Newey at that team this season, they continue to try and work at getting better, and he is not having a great run here today in Silverstone P16. Very curious to see what the new regulations come coming for the 2026 season if Aston Martin will be able to take a leap forward in both real life and in the career mode. Big tank slapper there from Behrman, and we're going to get the elbows down, catch him off guard there. Don't think he expected that one. Up the inside on the home driver, and we take the position up into P14. Now that was aggressive. We've been pretty aggressive today, but we've been clean. No contact. We got through without any issues there, and we continue to just claw our way forward, and definitely not expecting points today like we did just last race in Austria. I don't think any of Conor Sports got the pace for points, but I think we've got pace to run better than, of course, what we qualified and where we started at the very back of the grid. I think we're probably a 12th, 14th, 15th place car today, just not like what we had in Austria or Canada specifically, those last two races, you know, although strategy is what allowed us to score points in Austria. I also felt like we had the pace to be up towards the points as well. Maybe more like an 11th or 12th, but we really benefited on strategy. We continue, though, to run down these guys in front of us of Lawson and Ocon, and they're on the soft, so they're not far from having to make a pit stop, and we, of course, decided originally I was going to start on the softs like I mentioned the pre-race, but I ended up electing to go on the mediums, as you can obviously see. I completely forgot to mention that, but Ocon there and Lawson really scrapping it out, and I've still got a mirror full of Fernando Alonso now. As you can see, Ocon now seems like he's really starting to fade off a little bit, and these mediums, of course, should start to be able to outgrip and outpace everybody on the softs. Look at the track map. Verstappen and Norris, they are both long gone from Tsunoda and Piastri. So it's Red Bull, McLaren, scrapping it out now. As we start to see the soft tires pit, Alonso's going to come in, as well as Liam Lawson. Kimi Antonelli losing a spot up there in front of us to Pierre Gasly. And that's the soft tire that just passed the medium tire on lap 8, which was a bit surprising to see. Maybe the softs are hanging on a bit better than originally anticipated. And I mean, here I am still behind Ocon, who's on these softs. I can kind of get to him, but I was struggling to find a proper passing opportunity on him. And as we come to lap 10, same situation, he would kind of open up the gap. The straight line really allowed him to open up the gap, and as well, he's of course within DRS range of Antonelli, so that helps as well. Fortunately, we're not really having to defend ourselves, at least, because Behrman is 1.3 seconds back, so we don't have to worry unless, of course, he's in the 1 second range and using some of that DRS. My teammate of Aiden Jackson, however, he's gone nowhere since the start of this Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon stays out another lap on the softs, surprising me to say the least, because based off of seeing those other guys pit of Lawson as well as Alonso, I expected to see him in the pits by now, as here comes Lando Norris up the inside of Max Verstappen here on lap 11, looking for the lead of this British Grand Prix at home. Verstappen's not going to make it easy now as he continues side by side now. Or are they going to go wheel to wheel into Copse? Someone's going to have to back out surely. Lando has the momentum. He clears Verstappen into Copse. Verstappen backs out. New leader, Lando Norris, as now Esteban Ocon comes into the pits following lap 11. So this is interesting. Again, the Red Bull team continuing to kind of lose out now to McLaren. What a couple of races we're having here from Austria to now. My teammate of Aiden Jackson's into the pits. Will be pitting at the end of this lap. So we'll see if Jackson pitting on those mediums a little bit earlier can maybe find him some track position. So we have run down Kimi Antonelli by the tail end of this lap, slipping and sliding all over the place, but we keep it going in the right direction. But I mean, we are showing right now more pace than Kimi Antonelli as a fellow rookie in that Mercedes. Put me in that car for next season. Honestly, I am content right now with staying with Conor Sport going into the 2026 season. This team, brand new on the grid, it's got a lot of edge, it's flashy, they're making continuous gains in the R&D. I do believe we are on a team that could be a world championship caliber team come season 3, season 4 of this career mode now, as we have a little bit of a wait right there. We get out in front, however, we do leapfrog the Mercedes of Antonelli, so even after waiting just a little bit extra, we still get some gains out of it, but of course we've got some work to do. Ocon's going to be well out in front of us here, and Pierre Gasly as well is going to be just about 2 seconds down the road here, halfway about through this Grand Prix, and very, very happy with where we find ourselves at right now because of just the starting position. Qualifying, it was such a disaster with the rain. Things really got up to a poor start this weekend now, as we actually have yellow flags up ahead. And that's Liam Lawson. That's the tire down. He's got a right rear tire puncture on the V-carb. He's limping it back to the pit lane. Very unfortunate there for Lawson, as now Lando Norris has pitted from the lead 1 lap after Max Verstappen. So Norris is going to be coming out of the pit lane, and he's going to be under pressure from Max Verstappen. Here he exits now. Here comes Verstappen out of the first corner. It looks like Lando Norris will maintain the lead of the British Grand Prix. The crowd's going to absolutely love it. He's got his own grandstand here at the racetrack now as well. And now Lando Norris is in control. Can he take this McLaren to the top step of the podium at home for the first time in his career, just like he did in real life? As for myself, we find ourselves in P13 halfway through this British Grand Prix. Antonelli, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he runs me down before this race is over. He's in a Mercedes at the end of the day, and I mean, he's still got talent. And I actually found out he had a mechanical issue, so he was actually losing time to me now. But that was good to learn that the reason, no, we have a slide. Hadjar, he loses it completely, and around he goes. We stay green, no safety car, but damage is done for Hadjar. He keeps it off the barrier at least and avoids physical damage to the car, but of course the damage being done to his finishing position here, and that is a rough couple of last laps for V-Carb, with Lawson with a tire puncture limping it back to the pits, and Hadjar completely loses it on his own, and that's going to put them in the last 2 running spots now. Very unfortunate right there for V-Carb, as we continue to run now P12 as Fernando Alonso has come in to make his second pit stop. So 2-stop strategy is on the cards for some of these drivers here today, as we come now to lap 19. Under 10 laps to go, and I don't see us going anywhere from this point and beyond. We're P12, and how about Aiden Jackson? He was struggling to break the top 20 before the first pit stop. He's now up to P14, and he's running a quicker pace than I am, and so is Ollie Behrman. So I'm really having to step things up to keep these two out of my DRS. As we come up here towards lap 20, we're going to go through the grid.
Race on this compound.
Lando Norris at peak form at home here today as he leads down towards Copse. Oh no, the engine is gone from the McLaren.
Wow, that is heartbreaking, and on top of that, huge for Max Verstappen to gain some crucial points back in the championship.
So then, Verstappen now leads as Norris's day comes to an abrupt end from the lead of the race. Piastri is 10 seconds back, so I doubt he has anything for the Red Bull.
Russell will have to defend over Lewis Hamilton if he wants to hang on to a podium position. That is going to be a tall order in these closing laps.
And a huge praise to Williams today. Both cars, again, running in the points. They have stepped up a lot in recent weeks.
Ocon and Gasly in the points too, not what Connor Sport wants to see today. That team has made great progress as a new team to the sport this year. I just hope they are well equipped for the 2026 changes on the way.
Antonelli is having a bad day, but he's also had a mechanical issue. He's been in the rumour mill recently as Toto Wolff has been exploring options for next season.
We've learned how quickly things can change here in Silverstone. Lando Norris set to go back to back to back and get his 3rd consecutive win and close in on Verstappen further. Instead, mechanical failure out of the race. Speaking out of the race, we've got another one out of the race right now. Mechanical failure for Lance Stroll, fellow Canadian, done for the day as well. No safety car. We are now up to P11 due to Lando's mechanical issues with 4 laps to go. We are 4.4 seconds behind Pierre Gasly. We've now opened up the gap to the cars behind. And how about Aiden Jackson? He's gotten past Ollie Behrman up into P12. Myself and Jackson, although, you know, the performance of this car can be all over the place. We were in Canada running for like P6, P7, and now here we are running P11, P12, but we always seem to find ourselves pretty closely matched. I think we've got a very equal teammate matching here, and I do believe both of us are capable of fighting for a world championship long term. We come to the final lap of this Grand Prix. The gap to Gasly hasn't really changed, about 4.5 seconds, just like it was a few laps ago. Same to the gap to the cars behind us, not really changing as we continue to manage now, and Jackson is actually going to drop to about 3 seconds back, but he's got nearly 2 seconds on Behrman now, and the story is Max Verstappen, after a bit of a slide in the last few races, he's very much helped out today by the mechanical failure of Lando Norris. Verstappen is going to now take an additional full race extra points advantage over Norris today. He wins in Silverstone, upsets the crowd. Piastri is going to be able to bring it home in P2. Lewis Hamilton at least continues his podium streak at home in Silverstone. He'll be P3 in the Ferrari. We round the final few turns. Would have loved to score points for my team in their home Grand Prix. I know Jackson, of course, would have loved to do the same thing. We just didn't have the pace to do that this weekend. We round the final turn, and I still very happy. P11. I feel like that's the absolute most we could have done right there. Oh man, fun race, guys. Yeah, we just didn't have the pace for points. Sorry, I would have loved to at least gotten one for you, but yeah, I mean, continuing to get better. Let's keep doing this.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
To do it as a team on home soil, that really means something special, and you can see how much it means to them, the drivers involved as well. Great job by them today, of course, as always, but for the fans watching on too, a great display of teamwork here today.
Max Verstappen celebrates with Oscar Piastri and Lewis Hamilton at the top step of the podium. What a trio right there. Very successful trio. I mean, Piastri hasn't won this season in the career mode, unfortunately, but I mean, I'm sure his time has to be coming, you would think, as you see the rest of the finishing order. Lando Norris at the bottom there, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Doesn't matter, of course, there's no point for that. But look at the standings. Verstappen opens it up to 90 points. And yeah, I mean, Norris has got some work to do, as we're P16 still, 13th for Aiden Jackson. And taking a look at the constructors, Aston Martin right now 8 points ahead, and now Haas 10 points ahead of us as we continue in this fight against those two teams. I think those are the two teams we're really focusing on beating this season. Next episode, we head to Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix. That's going to be an exciting one. I think we could really benefit there from maybe some high speed with this engine and setup that I've got planned for that one. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.